Identity matrix. A square matrix in which all the diagonal elements are 1 and rest are all 0 is called an identity matrix. For example, in this matrix we have 2 rows and 2 columns. So it is a square matrix of order 2 by 2. And you can see in this matrix all the diagonal elements are equal to 1 and rest of the elements are all 0. So it is an example of identity matrix of order 2 by 2. Similarly, in this matrix, we have 3 rows and 3 columns. So it is a square matrix of order 3 by 3. All the diagonal elements are equal to 1 and remaining elements are all 0. So it is an example of identity matrix of order 3 by 3. Identity matrix is generally denoted by I. If it is of order 2 by 2, we write I2. If it is order of 3, we write I3. Next we have zero matrix. A matrix is said to be a zero matrix if all its elements are 0. For example, in this matrix, we have 1 row and 2 columns. So the order of matrix is 1 by 2 and you can see all the elements are equal to 0. So we call this as a null matrix or a zero matrix. Similarly here, in this matrix we have 2 rows and 3 columns. So it is a matrix of order 2 by 3 and as all the elements are equal to 0, so this is also an example of a null matrix or a zero matrix. A zero matrix is generally denoted by the symbol O. We have column matrix. A matrix is said to be a column matrix if it has only one column. For example, in this matrix, we have only one column. So it is a column matrix, and here also the order of the matrix is 3 by 1. That means this matrix has only one column. So it is an example of a column matrix. Next in the line is a row matrix. A matrix is said to be a row matrix if it has only one row. For example, matrix with elements 4 and 6. Here in this matrix, the order is 1 by 2. That means this matrix has only one row. So we will call such a matrix as a row matrix. Let's take another example. In this matrix, we have 1 row and 3 columns. As the number of rows in the matrix is 1, therefore it is also an example of a row matrix. Of two matrices. Two matrices A and B are said to be equal if they are of the same order and each element of matrix A is equal to the corresponding element of the matrix B. That is, Aij is equal to Bij for all I and j. For example, if this matrix is equal to this matrix, then you can see the order of this matrix is 3 by 2 and also the order of this matrix is again 3 by 2. So the two matrices here are of the same order, and if they are equal, that means their corresponding elements should be equal, which means that this element x should be equal to its corresponding element 2, y should be equal to the corresponding element 0, z should be equal to 4, a should be equal to 5, b should be equal to -1 and c should be equal to 6. That is, A11 should be equal to B11, A12 should be equal to B12, A21 should be equal to B21, and so on. Now we have a question based on the equality of matrices. The question says, find the values of A, B, C and D if this matrix is equal to the matrix consisting of elements 4, minus 3, 11, 24. Let's try to solve this. As the two matrices are given to be equal, so this implies that their corresponding elements must be equal. So here the element corresponding to 2a plus b is 4. So 2a plus b should be equal to 4. This is your first equation. Similarly, element corresponding to this a minus 2b is minus 3. So a minus 2b should be equal to minus 3. This is your equation 2. Now we can solve these two equations using elimination method that you had learned in your class.